When you talk about British wrestling to people nowadays, they always say, I remember the days of Big Daddy, I remember the days of Giant Haystacks and all the rest of it. How come they're not on the telly anymore?
How is it the world's became so fucking plastic? People are celebrities for being fucking celebrities. What the fuck is the deal there?
Before I put videos on YouTube, no wrestling companies were interested. Do you know what I mean? Because they never knew my character. My character never came out until I'd done YouTube videos.
Right, so what you're still doing there? You're all hanging the wrong way.
Right, need my double chin?
I need my glasses. Here.
No, higher, please.
Well, I can't see you.
You can see me here, you know?
Well, just...
Right.
What's going on in Hollywood? Who gives a fuck? What's going on? Who drank what? Who slapped whose ass? Who fucking cares? You represent every journalist that puts a fucking story about Jordan or some cunt like that on the front page of a fucking paper when there's cunts dying in the world. You represent everything that's wrong. And you know, that was all fine, that was fucking fine when there was other options, when there was shit for me to watch and shit for me to be entertained by. But now there's not. There's fuck all for me. I'm not meant to have an option. So I created my own fucking option. It's called Insane Championship Wrestling. And I fucking promise you, you will die.
My real name's Graham Stevely, my wrestling name is Grado. I've been a fan of wrestling since I was 12 years old, watching the WWF every Friday night at 10 o'clock, watching Raw, going to my bed, waking up early morning to watch SmackDown on Sky 1. Then when the internet came out, I was always on every wrestling chat rooms, wrestling fan sites, annoying wrestlers on MSN and AOL. I became virtually obsessed. I think when I seen the likes of like The Rock on the WWF, I thought to myself, that guy is the coolest guy on the planet.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome The Rock!
Even just his entrance, the way his character is, how the crowd reacted to him, I want to do that. Christmas 2002, I asked for this wrestling belt. I swear to God, I pestered my mum and dad for a replica wrestling belt for about 3.5 years, and see when I finally got it on Christmas morning, I was greeting and everything. So this is my pride and joy. When they sell that on eBay for loving their money. I used to phone into a wrestling radio show every Saturday night. It was called Wrestling Talk on Talk Sport, and every week I would go on that show and ask a question or do an impression of a wrestler or just kind of talk rubbish about wrestling. And eventually one of the wrestlers on the radio show told me about Scottish Championship Wrestling in Scotland, that they were running a show. So that was when the internet started to kick off. But he told me I was too young, but I kind of kept in contact with him, and eventually I started training with them, and it just kind of went from there.
My name's Mark Dallas. I run Insane Championship Wrestling. We're based in Glasgow, Scotland. Before the world went all reality television, it was MTV and it was Shock TV and it was Jackass, it was Jerry Springer. It was like shock surprises, just fun. I've got a real soft spot in my heart for like the late 90s and the way it was and how TV went so nuts. And maybe because it went so nuts, that's how it's so censored now. But we are not. And as you can see by the fact we got thrown off television, we're not willing to be censored by anyone. There's a couple of characters in ICW that we would consider our characters, like Mikey Whiplash, like Jack Jester.
I'm the big pirate guy. I go to the gym, get bigger, and so do my earrings. I want to be a clown, a tattooist, or a wrestler. And that was the three things I said when I went to my career interview. People say it's seen its heyday, you know, with the likes of Big Daddy and Haystacks, which are the first two names that everybody mentions, but you've got like amazing wrestlers like Johnny Saint, who I had the pleasure of meeting. Still, he was 70 years old, and he was still cartwheeling and head flipping, and you know, just so much knowledge, it's unreal. But like him and Rollerball Rocco and, you know, Adrian Street, the gay gimmick, the you know, outlandish, kind of almost transvestite.
But I'm a sweet transvestite with a broken nose.
Now, nothing shocks anybody. But back then, to come out there and have lipstick and makeup, it was a brave thing for him to do.
My real name's Michael Gilbert, and I wrestle under the alias of Mikey Whiplash, and I've been a professional wrestler now for almost 13 years. I've got the crowd more or less split where all the guys are into like their R&B and dance and stuff like that, are throwing drinks at me. And then on the other side, you've got all like the rock chicks and stuff like that who would try and bloody like jump me and stuff, so it's a weird one.
Grado, I brought in, sat down and we were like, we made a documentary about him trying to get booked for ICW. We put it online, it got like 2,000 views, and people just went nuts for it. And then they started doing this campaign saying book Grado, and I went, oh, we're on to a winner here.
Then for mate, just to let you know, June the 3rd, I'm not going to be there, mate.
Oh, how no, man? You know, just come along. How no?
I'm not booked.
Just come along, we'll have a few drinks, we'll hang out after the show.
I'm not involved. Look, and I remember the days, British wrestling days, when we used to be in the locker room and all the old dogs used to sit there in the corner. Hey, old spot!
I get videos of people saying get Grado booked. When I was over in Vegas, I got American guys saying get Grado booked, motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? I went mad. And finally last month I debuted at the garage where I jumped over the guardrails and I ended up getting booked in a match. And the crowd reaction was amazing. So much so that Dallas decided to give me like a title shot against Red Lightning.
I can't believe you've booked Grado in a main event, in a title match. Why? Because he put a video on YouTube? Because he's good, because he's popular on Twitter? What matters to me and what should matter to you is I am your champion. And look what I've got. I have got a strap with no plate on it. Don't go moaning on Twitter. Don't go moaning on Facebook or YouTube. Do something. Do something to grab attention.
Well, don't I tell you something, right? See Albert Einstein? They called him a baldy-line wee fucker when he came up with ideas for science. They said to the Wright brothers, he's a pair of screwballs when they come up with the idea for flying planes. They said to Steve Jobs, Jobsy, sort of smoking eight doobies, when he said that every house in the world would wind up having a computer. The very same folk that say Grado, he'll never get booked for ICW, never! Well, my dream came true and I was booked for ICW and that match has been signed, me and Red Lightning.
Grado's going to be there, the underdog, the cunt every cunt laughed at, hopefully. No cunt will be laughing anymore at fucking Grado, you fucking cunt.
I've always wanted to be a celebrity. I felt my whole life, I felt like I'm never going to fit in to a normal 9-to-5 style. And that's my motivation and drive to get out of these kind of shows and get to the next stage. There's nothing wrong with them, don't get me wrong. I've learned my trade and I'll never forget my roots, but there comes a point when you turn around and say, this ain't for me anymore. I don't want to do the lifestyle of most normal people. I want to leave a legacy, that's what I've always said. You know, I want to be in books that people read in, like, 2,000 years saying this was a professional wrestler back in 2000. That's kind of cool to me, and hopefully.